What is the new world going to look like soon enough? How will that work?
I think if ChatGPT finds you, to zoom out even before the answer, one of the sort of unusual things we noticed a while ago, and this was when it was a worse problem, ChatGPT would consistently be reported as like a user's most trusted technology product from a big tech company. We don't really think of ourselves as a big tech company, but I guess we sort of are now. And that's very odd on the surface, right? Because AI is the thing that hallucinates, AI is the thing with all the errors, and this was when that was much more of a problem. And there's a question of why. Ads on a Google search are dependent on Google doing badly. Like if it was giving you the best answer, there'd be no reason ever to buy an ad above it. So you kind of like, you're like, the thing's not quite aligned with me. ChatGPT, maybe it gives you the best answer, maybe it doesn't, but you're paying it, or hopefully y'all are paying it, and it's at least trying to give you the best answer. And that has led to people having like a deep and pretty trusting relationship with ChatGPT. You ask ChatGPT for the best hotel, not Google or something else. If ChatGPT were accepting payment to put a worse hotel above a better hotel, that's probably catastrophic for your relationship with ChatGPT. On the other hand, if ChatGPT shows you it's guess the best hotel, whatever that is, and then if you book it with one click, takes the same cut that it would take from any other hotel, and there's nothing that influenced it, but there's some sort of transaction fee, I think that's probably okay. And with our recent commerce thing, that's the spirit of what we're trying to do. We'll do that for travel at some point.
I'm not worried about the payola issue, but let me tell you my worry, and that is there may be a tight cap on the commission you can charge, because we're now in a world, say, where there's agents, and someone finds the best hotel through GPT-7 or whatever, and then they just talk to their computer or their pendant, and they go to some stupider service, but the stupider service is an agent that books very cheaply, and they only really have to pay OpenAI a commission equal to what the stupidest service will charge.
So one thing I believe in general related to this is that margins are going to go dramatically down on most goods and services, including things like hotel bookings. I'm happy about that. I think there's like a lot of taxes that just suck for the economy, and getting those down should be great all around. But I think that most companies like OpenAI will make more money at a lower margin.
But you worry about the discrepancy between the fixed upfront cost of making yours the smartest model compared to the very cheap cost of all the competing agent has to do is book it for someone. And how do you use the commissions to pay for making the model smarter, in essence?
I think the way to monetize the world's smartest model is certainly not hotel booking.
But you want to do it nonetheless.
I mean, I want to discover new science and figure out a way to monetize that you can only do with the smartest model. There is a question of like, many people have asked, should OpenAI do ChatGPT at all? Why don't you just go build AGI? Why don't you go discover, a cure for every disease, nuclear fusion, cheap rockets, the whole thing, and just license that technology? And it is not an unfair question, because I believe that is the stuff that we will do that will be most important and make the most money eventually. But my most likely story about how this works, how the world gets like dramatically better, is we put a really great super intelligence in the hands of everybody. We make it super easy to use. It's nicely integrated. We make you beautiful devices. We connected all your services. It gets to know you over your life. It does all this stuff for you. And we invest in infrastructure and chips and energy and the whole thing to make it super abundant and super cheap. And then you all figure out how the world gets way better. Maybe some people will only ever book hotels and not do anything else, but a lot of people will figure out they can do more and more stuff and create new companies and ideas and art and whatever. So maybe ChatGPT and hotel booking and whatever else is not the best way we can make money. In fact, I'm certain it's not. I do think it's a very important thing to do for the world. And I'm happy for OpenAI to do some things that are not the like economic maxing thing.